Good morning and welcome to CTV Morning Live. Here we are in September. I feel like I need to start singing Earth, Wind and Fire. Do you remember?
Already!
Welcome back and welcome back to school. I know the kids are waking up, getting ready for the first day of school for the English School Board. We're really glad you can start your day with us. Melissa is away today.
I hope you had a wonderful long weekend too. And of course, as you mentioned, it's the first day of school for 77,000 kids in our communities at Ottawa's English, Catholic and public school boards. And you know what? If you're not aware, there are some changes for the school boards here in the capital this year. More details on that. But first, you know, many kids, Rosie, stepping outside, waiting for the school bus. What are they in for this morning?
Well, right now it's not bad at all. We've got mostly cloudy sky. We're sitting at 15 degrees, so very comfortable start to your day. But you may need your umbrella. We got your full weather report coming up in the next few minutes.
Well, it's the first day of school for thousands of kids in the Ottawa region, and Ottawa's English public and Catholic school boards head back to the classroom today. You are reminded to drive carefully in school zones and to be on the lookout for students walking at traffic pickups this morning. Coming up at 7 a.m., we will hear from the Director of Education for the Ottawa Catholic School Board about the return to school today. Meantime, Ottawa's largest school board remains under provincial supervision. The Ontario government placed the OCDSB under supervision in June after the board posted 4 straight deficit budgets, including a projected $9.2 million deficit for school last year. Trustees have been locked out of their email accounts and devices, and decisions normally made by elected officials will now be made by Robert Plamondon, who has been appointed supervisor of the OCDSB. And also new this year, parents are being asked to pack a so-called boomerang lunch for their kids due to a lack of blue bins in the schools. The local companies that manage recycles and materials for Ottawa's 4 school boards are discontinued plastics recycling services for this fall. The OCDSB says it cannot accept plastic containers, bottles, or food packaging. Kids are being asked to take their waste back home with them at the end of the school day.
Celebrated Canadian First Nations actor Graham Greene has died at the age of 73.
Go, Buffalo, Tatanka, Buffalo.
Greene was best known for his Oscar-nominated breakthrough role as Kicking Bird in Kevin Costner's film Dances with Wolves. Greene also starred in a number of other high-profile feature films, such as The Green Mile, Maverick, and Die Hard with a Vengeance, to name a few. His manager has confirmed he died in Stratford, Ontario, after a long illness. Motorists will now have to pay for street parking in Westboro and Wellington West as time runs out on free parking in the popular business area of Ottawa. The City of Ottawa says paid parking goes into effect as of today for on-street parking spots in the Churchill, Wellington West, Hintonburg, Richmond West, and Richmond East areas. Staff say the introduction of paid parking comes after data showed very high parking demand at peak times. Rates will be set at $3 an hour, according to the city.
More than 24 Liberal MPs have signed a letter calling for action against anti-Semitism after the stabbing of a Jewish woman at an Nepean grocery store last week. Ottawa police have charged a 71-year-old with aggravated assault and possession of a dangerous weapon and are treating the stabbing as a hate-motivated crime. Quebec MP Anthony Housefather posted this letter on social media. It reads in part, "Right now, Jews make up slightly more than 1% of Canada's population, but are the victims of 70% of the reported religious-based acts of hate." Canada's wildfire season is already the second worst on record, and it's showing no signs of slowing down. In the Northwest Territories, 90 fires are out of control, prompting evacuation orders of 2 communities across BC. Thousands of lightning strikes have sparked new fires in the province, nearly tripling in a matter of days. As of Monday, around 160 are burning in that province, but there is some relief in Newfoundland and Labrador, where there is currently only 1 out-of-control fire burning.
More than 800 people are dead and 2,800 injured following a devastating 6.0 magnitude earthquake in Afghanistan. Thousands of homes, roads, and villages were destroyed as rescuers struggled to reach remote areas due to mountainous terrain and rainy weather. It's a region where people live on less than $1 a day. In a social media post, Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada stands ready to provide humanitarian support as the Afghan people recover and rebuild.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he will be awarding the Presidential Medal of Honor to his former attorney and longtime ally Rudy Giuliani. The announcement comes after Giuliani was involved in a car accident over the weekend. He suffered several injuries, but his head of security says that he is recovering. Giuliani also served as New York City's mayor during and after the 9/11 attacks. He fell into a slew of legal and financial troubles in the wake of 2020 elections that saw Trump lose the presidency to Joe Biden.
Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime continued his dominant performance at the U.S. Open, soaring past the tournament's round of 16.
To have a few setbacks, injuries, struggle of confidence, and then to come back the second time in the quarterfinals here, it feels much better. It feels more deserved, and I'm soaking in, every moment here.
Auger-Aliassime took on Russia's Andrei Rublev and won the bout in 3 straight sets. His next match will be in the quarterfinals today. If he wins, he could be on his way to repeating his historic U.S. Open run in 2021 when he became the first Canadian man to reach the semifinals.
Hundreds of people lined a neighborhood in Brantford, Ontario to cheer on young racers in the city's 69th annual Labor Day Soapbox Derby.
In Brantford, this is a great Labor Day tradition, which is the Brantford District Labour Council Soapbox Derby. Been going for 69 years straight. It's a great tradition. It marks for kids that it's the beginning of the school year, for parents the end of the summer, and a great way to celebrate Labor Day.
Looks like so much fun. 49 children, with the help of friends and family in pit crews, brought new and vintage soapbox cars to the event, hosted each year by the Brantford District Labour Council.
So fun. This year's race took place in an alternative location due to construction downtown, but Brantford's mayor said that he hopes the event will actually return to its usual location soon. Great conditions, great event to do that too. And that's so fun for everyone to watch, right? Like when you get involved and the families are involved. And again, great conditions as we did have for Labor Day weekend.
Beautiful weather, absolutely gorgeous. More of the same this morning, but maybe not this afternoon.
Got it.
Why don't we get into it and talk about how your back-to-school weather is looking. Here's your weather story. Sun cloud this morning, chance of showers for the afternoon with the risk of an afternoon thunderstorm. And for this week, it's going to be pretty warm, including today. Okay, so your outdoor recess forecast, here's how it's looking. This morning, 20 degrees by 10 a.m., 22-11. Get out for afternoon recess. There is the chance into the afternoon, about a 30% chance of showers, 30% chance of an afternoon thunderstorm as well. So we should be at about 25 degrees by 1 p.m. It is going to get warm. Right now, we are at 12 degrees in Pembroke, Bancroft, 9 into Kentville, 13, starting off the day at 14 in Kingston, and in Maniwaki, 12, and Montreal as well to start off the day. So here's how it's going to look for Ottawa. Into later on this morning, we'll be at 20 degrees, sun cloud mix. Still some more sunshine into the afternoon with the risk of an afternoon thunderstorm. 27 is our forecast high. We should be at about 22 degrees, so it's going to get very warm this afternoon. It'll feel closer to about 29 degrees. And then tonight, 13, the low, with a chance of a few lingering showers. So regional forecast, highs and lows, you can see well into the 20s throughout the region, 25 in Trenton, and into Pembroke, we're going to get up to 25 as well. Throughout the region, Maniwaki, Kitigan-Zibi, we may see a thunderstorm or two into the afternoon. We're down to 12 degrees for Kitigan-Zibi, 25 to start up to reach our high actually into Kingston. Kingston, and then down to a low of 12 degrees. And into Cornwall, 27, the forecast high, as well as Ottawa. So it is going to be a pretty warm afternoon. 27 in Gatineau. Mont Tremblant, look for a high of 25 degrees, down to a low of 10. Montreal's going to be a gorgeous day, mostly sunny, a high of 28. And then mainly clear sky overnight, and a low of 15. All right, let's take a look at the next 3 days into Ottawa. Chance of showers this afternoon. It's going to be gorgeous Wednesday, sunny, 27, 26 the high on Thursday. A few more clouds and a chance of showers. And a long range forecast, you can see there, we're going to get down to a low of 12 degrees on Thursday.
Saver traffic. Time now to take a look at your time saver traffic, and volume is light out there, resulting in no delays to your commute at this time. But a reminder, please be cautious out on the roads. It is the first day of school for many returning today. Well, the stairs officially have a new master. It's not your typical weekend workout, but one Ottawa man spent 24 hours climbing, hoping to set a new world record on the Stairmaster at a gym in Orleans. CTV's Josh Morano has that story.
Okay, you're at step after step, hour after hour. Hellcat Jaffer is climbing his way to the top of the record books.
I don't feel anything right now. I'm cramping up.
Inside the Good Life Fitness, where he works in Orleans, Jaffer is attempting to break the world record for most steps on a Stairmaster in 24 hours. He needs more than 108,000.
The end was like, all right, you know, it's showtime, and there's no way that I can disappoint this crowd. But the crowd gave me lots of motivation.
Our medical staff was surprised by how well he was doing, and just to see, like, after a certain point, it becomes a mental battle, and you could just see the determination on his face, and it's something very admirable.
Family, friends, and members of the community cheering him on for hours.
It was just incredible to see it. There's a lot of doubt in the beginning, obviously, but, you know, people rallied, the energy went up, and he smashed it.
And then, with the clock winding down, a new world record.
My goal was to go to 112, 114, but I fell a little bit short of 111, but still good enough for a world record.
Along the way, Jaffer raising money with proceeds going towards the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa.
He came to the club as a member and is now giving back to the community, and he just broke a world record. Like, I get a shiver down my back just thinking about how inspiring this young man is and what he's showing our new members, what the opportunities they can be. They can be whatever they want, and this is an example of it.
For Jaffer, finishing with 111,000 steps, he says this was more of a mental battle than a physical one, but having his loved ones there to support him was all the help he needed.
They were the ones who were here, you know, throughout the night as well. They didn't sleep as well, right? They were supporting me every step of the way, so I couldn't have done it without them.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
So amazing, and I love too that it wasn't just to break a world record. He did it for a local community too, obviously one that means a lot to him, and that's a lot of steps. I think he's going to be a little sore walking over the next couple days.
Over 111,000 steps, and he did it, like you said, to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa. Such an important organization, and there's nothing like having that crowd support. You're like, oh no, can't slow down, can't stop. Everybody's cheering him on. That's wonderful. Well done indeed. Today in the social room, we're asking you, what's your favorite back-to-school memory? Let us know. Ottawa.morning@ctv.ca. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The sun's making its way above the horizon. It's 6:14. We're in for a sun-cloud mix this morning with a chance of afternoon showers. We'll be right back after this. Good morning, Ottawa.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. We want to see, your back to school photos. Send them to us, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca. And we're going to share them on Friday morning show. And again, this could be back to school photos from today. It could be from your past, maybe your kids' past. Just send them our way, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca.
Go. Buffalo. Tatanka. Buffalo. Well.
Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. Here's what you need to know right now. Celebrated Canadian First Nations actor Greene has died at the age of 73. Greene was best known for his Oscar-nominated breakthrough role as Kicking Bird in Kevin Costner's film Dances with Wolves. Taking a look now at your forecast, your wake-up weather. We're at 15 degrees. We have mostly cloudy conditions. We're looking for a sun-cloud mix this morning and the chance of afternoon showers. And now a live look through your time-saver traffic. And right now, no issues on the roads. It's an easy drive ahead of you at this time.
Well, it's no secret that many Canadians are not traveling to the U.S. this year as a bitter trade war continues. A report analytics company, Tourism Economics, shows that there has been an 8.2% decline in international visits towards the U.S. this year, led about 1/4 fewer Canadians visiting America from January to July 2025. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA. And Bill, why don't we start this conversation with a quote from a U.S. citizen saying he is super duper angry.
Yeah, he's super duper angry with his own government, and I'm super duper angry with mine. I'd like some leadership now from our Prime Minister. He capitalized on the passion and the patriotism of Canadians in order to get elected. He said he'd be the one to take on Donald Trump and his tariffs. Now here we are today, the last of the counter tariffs come off. He's removed taxes, he's increased military spending, he's giving everything to Donald Trump that Donald Trump has asked for. And so far, we're getting nothing in return. So I want to know, I read an article this morning, Will, about how Canadians can make the most of selling their American homes. We're talking about mostly retired Canadians who spent their lives dreaming of a day they could go to the winter in Florida and sunshine, and they put their money, their hard-earned money, their investments into the U.S., and they're selling it at a loss right now out of patriotism. They're doing it for their country. I mean, think of the level of sacrifice. It's already a sacrifice just to say, my kids are at a university in the U.S., or I have relatives there. I'm not going to visit them as often or at all right now to make a point on behalf of Canada. That's a big sacrifice. I'm not going to take that week away in the sunshine this year. I'm going to spend more money elsewhere. I'm going to not go on vacation at all this winter because I'm doing it for my country. Meanwhile, our Prime Minister, he's backed down entirely. We're getting nothing out of it, and we're making the sacrifices. So I think it's time our Prime Minister stepped up and told us, what's the plan here? Why should we sacrifice personally if the government is selling us out at the national level and the international level? I don't understand it. So far as a Canadian, I'm reluctant to maybe take one of those long weekends away in the U.S., find a golf course somewhere. I'd like to do that. Something new that I've started to do in the last few years with my wife, but maybe we won't book it just yet. But I'm tempted. I am tired of standing up and fighting, and our leaders are behind us doing what exactly? I don't know. And I think a lot of Canadians are going to start to feel that way.
Yeah, I think so too, Bill. And if you look at the real estate too, towards those Sunshine State areas that a lot of snowbirds will go down this time of year, there are so many homes that are available and the prices aren't nearly what they should be. And you have so much competition and Canadians now not buying there. So if you do decide to sell, you are going to take a huge loss on that property.
Yeah, there's a temptation if you've been spending your whole life dreaming of retiring one day and spending half the year in Florida. There are great deals to be had. There are great deals on trips. I mean, the mayor of Las Vegas is begging Canadians to come down this winter. So why should we say no? This hurts us. It hurts Americans that many of us know on a personal level and like, that their tourism industry is hurting. So should we all just make the most of it and move on with our lives? Or do we continue to sacrifice because Mark Carney is fighting for us? I don't see the fight so far. That's my problem. I'll sacrifice, but I need my here I am asking our leader to have our backs Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't he be the one leading? Isn't that what a leader is? Why are we leading and he's following? I don't understand it.
Yeah, a decision that each Canadian will have to make if they're heading down this year or potentially not. Appreciate your time. Have a great show, Bill.
You too.
You can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 until 10 a.m.
Whoa, there's the bus. Goodbye, sweetheart. School will be fun.
Today is the first day of school for students in the Ottawa Carleton District and Ottawa Catholic School Boards.
Yeah, so of course, today in the social room, we are asking you, what is your favorite back-to-school memory? And this could be from any point. Let us know, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca, and we will be sure to highlight it through the day today. Any of that kind of spark out to you, Rosie?
Oh, yeah, it sticks out right in my mind. As soon as you say back to school, I think about my daughter in her beautiful pale green dress, white socks, black shoes, backpack, and lunchbox, and I'm sending her off to school her very, very first day at school, and she has a big smile and no two front teeth. Boom! Gorgeous, like, come on! That is just amazing. I have the picture as well, and it's in my head, and I have the picture, and I'll never forget it. I just won't forget it.
Such a nice memory, too, right? Like those times, too, and they probably go in a blink of an eye.
Oh, my gosh, it goes so fast. You're like, wait, I remember dropping you off your first day at school. Now you're what? Wait, how did you get taller than me? Wait, what? Life just like flashes by like that. So I know it's probably a pretty big scramble for you parents getting your kids ready for school. And it's like, oh my gosh, do I have everything? It's a hectic day.
Yeah.
But just take it in. It's just so amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. What about you, Will?
Well, like I think last week I mentioned that I used to love how my parents dressed me. And I actually have a photo here. Here I am back to school. I can't remember what grade this is, but like the shirt, the shorts, the shoes, the swag. My parents knew what they were doing. And I can remember too, like at this point, it was still in elementary school. And you know, that's not where you're like excited about getting lockers or hanging out with your friends. It's just being back, coming from summer with all your friends. You don't really know what's going on at that point. You're just in line getting there, but it's super exciting, and then everyone's back together. So there are some great memories there.
Very nice pick indeed. Mom and Dad, nice style selection. And I also noticed the stance. That's all kids. A lot of kids are like that, my daughter included. Chest out, ready for the world. That's how we all should be.
Stance.
Chest out, ready for the world and ready for the day. We're so glad that you're with us. That's a question in our social room today. What's your favorite back-to-school memory? Let us know. Ottawa.morning@ctv.ca. We'll be right back.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to CTV Morning Live on your Tuesday as we come across our final long weekend of summer, and it's a big, big day today.
Oh my goodness, how many thousands of students heading back to school. Why don't we take a look right now through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Starting off, we've got mostly cloudy conditions and not a bad start to your day. 15 degrees, nice and fresh out there for kids getting ready to head back to school. Oh, we just dropped a degree. We're now at 14. Mostly cloudy sky. I've got your full weather forecast coming up in the next few minutes.
So it is the first day of school for thousands of kids in the Ottawa region. Ottawa's English, public, and Catholic school boards head back to the classroom today. You are reminded to drive carefully in the school zones and be on the lookout for students walking as traffic pickups this morning. Coming up at 7 a.m., we will hear from the Director of Education for the Ottawa Catholic School Board about the return to school today. Meantime, Ottawa's largest school board remains under provincial supervision. The Ontario government placed the OCDSB under supervision in June after the board posted 4 straight deficit budgets, including a projected $9.2 million deficit for last school year. Trustees have been locked out of their email accounts and devices, and decisions normally made by elected officials will now be made by Robert Plamondon, who has been appointed supervisor of the OCDSB. And also, new this year, parents are being asked to pack a so-called boomerang lunch for their kids due to a lack of blue bins in the schools. The local company that manages recyclable materials for Ottawa's 4 school boards discontinued plastics recycling services this fall. The OCDSB says it cannot accept plastic containers, bottles, or food packaging. Kids are being asked to take their waste back home with them at the end of the school day.
Celebrated Canadian First Nations actor Greene has died at the age of 73.
Go. Buffalo. Tatanka. Buffalo.
Greene was best known for his Oscar-nominated breakthrough role as Kicking Bird in Kevin Costner's film Dances with Wolves. Greene also starred in a number of other high-profile feature films, such as The Green Mile, Maverick, and Die Hard with a Vengeance, to name a few. His manager has confirmed he died in Stratford, Ontario, after a long illness. Motorists will now have to pay for street parking in Westboro and Wellington West as time runs out on free parking in the popular business areas of Ottawa. The City of Ottawa says paid parking goes into effect as of today for on-street parking spots in the Churchill, Wellington West, Hintonburg, Richmond West, and Richmond East areas. Staff say the introduction of paid parking comes after data showed very high parking demand at peak times. Rates will be set at $3 an hour, according to the city.
More than 24 Liberal MPs have signed a letter calling for action against anti-Semitism after the stabbing of a Jewish woman at an Nepean grocery store that occurred last week. Ottawa police have charged a 71-year-old with aggravated assault and possession of a dangerous weapon and are treating the stabbing as a hate-motivated crime. Quebec MP Anthony Housefather posted the letter on social media, and it reads in part, "Right now, Jews make up slightly more than 1% of Canada's population, but are the victims of 70% of the reported religious-based acts of hate." Canada's wildfire season is already the second worst on record, and it's showing no signs of slowing down. In the Northwest Territories, 90 fires are out of control, prompting evacuation orders of 2 communities across BC. Thousands of lightning strikes have sparked new fires in the province, nearly tripling in a matter of days. As of Monday, around 160 are burning in that province, but there is some relief in Newfoundland and Labrador, where there is currently only 1 out-of-control fire burning.
More than 800 people are dead and 2,800 injured following a devastating 6.0 magnitude earthquake in Afghanistan. Thousands of homes, roads, and villages were destroyed as rescuers struggled to reach remote areas due to mountainous terrain and rainy weather. It's a region where people live on less than $1 a day. In a social media post, Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada stands ready to provide humanitarian support as the Afghan people recover and rebuild.
U.S. President Donald Trump says that he will be awarding the Presidential Medal of Honor to his former attorney and longtime ally, Rudy Giuliani. The announcement comes after Giuliani was involved in a car accident over the weekend. He had suffered several injuries, but his head of security says that he is recovering. Giuliani also served as a New York City's mayor during and after the 9/11 attack. He fell into a slew of legal and financial troubles in the wake of 2020 elections that saw Trump lose the presidency towards Joe Biden.
Canada's Félix Auger-Aliassime continued his dominant performance at the U.S. Open, soaring past the tournament's round of 16.
To have a few setbacks, injuries, struggle of confidence, and then to come back the second time in the quarterfinals here, it feels much better. It feels more deserved, and I'm soaking in, every moment here.
Auger-Aliassime took on Russia's Andrei Rublev and won the bout in 3 straight sets. His next match will be in the quarterfinals today. If he wins, he could be on his way to repeating his historic U.S. Open run in 2021 when he became the first Canadian man to reach the semifinals.
An investigation is underway after people stopped on a Toronto highway to try and corral a loose dog.
Police say the incident happened just before 3 p.m. Monday on the Gardiner Expressway in Toronto. Witness video shows several people trying to corner the animal.
Yeah, police say the dog was picked up before they arrived at the scene, and it is not immediately clear how the dog even got onto the highway.
That is crazy. It's not immediately clear how people could get out of their car on the Gardiner Expressway and try and corral a dog. That is absolutely crazy.
It is, and you know that already at that time.
That's so dangerous.
With the backup too, right? People going on, off, and the dog, you don't know what's going on behind you unless you're right up front. So glad to hear that the dog was like picked up and is safe, but it's just another thing that you always got to be alert about what's going on.
Yeah, just please, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, just don't. Just don't. I mean, we are dog lovers. Absolutely, but that is horrendously dangerous. Okay, we got to talk about your forecast now, and things are looking pretty nice to start off the first day of school for so many going back to school today. Partly cloudy conditions, mostly cloudy right now, so not too bad. Your sunrise, 6:25. It's going to set at 7:38. UV index moderate to high today, starting off plenty of sunshine into the late morning and then into the afternoon, increasing cloudiness with a chance of showers. And for the rest of the week, most of it anyhow, it's going to be pretty warm, today included. Okay, so here's a look at the forecast. So we have a weak system that could produce some afternoon showers into late this afternoon. We could even get a thunderstorm or two late in the day today. And then we'll talk about the chance of a few showers into Thursday and early Friday morning. Okay, so let's talk about the next 12 hours. Sun cloud mix into the afternoon. Then we've got about a 30% chance we could see a few showers around about noon into about 5, 6 o'clock. So you're getting the kids ready for school. Think about that. Maybe a rain jacket, because there may be a shower or two into this afternoon. It is going to be mild. Look at the temperatures, 23 by noon, and forecast calling for a high of 27. So there it is, your back to school forecast, 30% chance of afternoon showers. We're getting all the way up to 27 this afternoon. It'll feel closer to 29, so it is going to get very warm. Here's a look at your long range forecast. Thursday, good chance we're going to see a few showers into the later part of the day, 26 your high. Let me double back to Wednesday. It's going to be gorgeous, sunny sky and a high of 27. And then on to Friday, cloudy conditions, temperatures take a dip, 21 your high. And the Red Blacks taking on BC on Saturday rather at, no, actually that's on Friday. I made a mistake there. It's on Friday that's happening. And it looks like it's going to be pretty nice, cloudy sky for you there. Saturday, chance of showers, a high of 20 and 22 on Monday.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
And we're taking a look now at your time saver traffic. Let's see, any slowdowns? Right now, looking pretty good on your Tuesday morning, the day after Labor Day. Pretty quiet on the roads for now. Labor leaders and activists took to the streets of downtown Ottawa Monday to celebrate Labor Day.
Yeah, of course, it was a wonderful weather weekend for the majority of that. But CTV's Josh Moreno tells a little bit of a different story.
Postal worker Raina Lantier is carrying her union flag with pride this Labor Day.
We're here just standing together in solidarity with each other, showing support for all the other unions across Ottawa and across the country.
According to Lantier, it's been a very trying year for postal workers as bargaining talks continue between her union and Canada Post.
It was really hard to be on strike, and we were really hoping that we were going to be able to have a good collective agreement, and then to have the government intervene and then to send us back to work as quickly as they did, and then it just put a halt to everything.
Let the workers work it out with the employer. We want Canada Post to be profitable, but we're not going to do it in the backs of our workers.
The annual Labor Day March took off from City Hall on Monday with dozens of unions taking part, among them federal public servants calling out the government's hybrid work policies.
Our members showed up for Canadians during the pandemic. They keep showing up, and we see a lot of benefits to remote work and telework. Why not look for savings there? That doesn't threaten, the bedrock of Canadian society.
The Amalgamated Transit Union, Local 279, also in attendance after the union representing transit workers reached a deal with the City of Ottawa on the 21st day of bargaining.
We think that's a positive thing, and we think that's the way that the city should work. I mean, if, both sides coming together and they hammer out a deal, and, we're pleased. I'm hopeful the members will be pleased as well with that.
With fall bargaining on the horizon at Canada Post, Lantier says she hopes a fair deal can get done soon without any outside interference.
We have no idea what's going to happen. We're hoping for the best. We're hoping for Canada Post just to come and have a talk with us. They're avoiding us, so we're just looking for them just to sit and talk with us. That's all we're asking for right now.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
Coming up, some of the world's biggest movie stars will descend on Toronto this week as the annual Toronto International Film Festival gets underway. It is celebrating its 50th year. We'll tell you more about this and other stories when we take a look at what's trending. That's coming up after the break. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. And we've got partly cloudy sky. Not a bad looking start to your day. It's going to be nice and warm this afternoon as the kids head back to school. 6:43. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Good morning, Ottawa.
On Sunday, October 5th, CHEO's RBC Race for the Kids will support the largest redevelopment campaign in CHEO's 50-year history. Join CTV and Move 100 and register now for the 5K or 10K timed all-terrain routes or the 2K accessible family fun run at Wesley Clover Parks. Whether you run, walk, or cheer participants on, there will be something for everyone with music, food, and activities to enjoy. Register now for CHEO's RBC Race for the Kids and help support pediatric health care in our community.
Ready to reap what you've sown this season? Join CTV Morning Live Friday for the best gardening tips from local experts to help your yard flourish into fall.
Good to Grow on CTV Morning Live. Fridays, brought to you in part by Robert Plant Greenhouses.
That is pop star, superstar really, Alicia Cara performing Sunday night at the Gatineau Hot Air Balloon Festival. The singing sensation graced the stage for the final night of the festival taking place in L'Abbé Park. Flo Rida and Talk were among the other headliners for this year's event.
Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. Here's what you need to know right now. Motorists will now have to pay for street parking in Westboro and Wellington West as time runs out on free parking in the popular business area of Ottawa. Staff say the introduction of paid parking comes after data showed very high parking demand at peak times. That's in effect as of today. And we'll take a quick peek at our forecast, your wake-up weather. Mostly cloudy, 14 degrees for you. Into the afternoon, we do have a chance of showers and the risk of an afternoon thunderstorm. Now let's take a live look at your time saver traffic. And as of this moment, on the first day back to school for most, we're seeing no major delays on the highways.
Time Saver Traffic is brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Okay, on this first day back to school for so many thousands of students, our question in the social room today is, what is your favorite back to school memory? It could be a memory of your own or a memory that you share, maybe taking your kids back to school. We want to know. And Sherry says, my favorite back to school memory is the old Staples commercial with parents skipping down the aisles, tossing supplies in the cart while the kids skulked behind. My foster mom loved it and would sing it's the most wonderful time of the year. Priceless memories. I remember that commercial.
It's the most wonderful time of the It's that time of year again. They're going back. It's back to school.
Oh my gosh, so good. Why don't they make commercials like they used to?
I know. That was great. We remember it well, Sherry. Thank you so much.
Oh man, that's a good one. All right, continuing on. Arthur says that my favorite back-to-school memory since I retired 2 years ago is that my kids, 7 and 10, as well as my wife, who is a teacher, return back to school today, giving me back my retirement.
There you go.
A popular thought across the day today.
There you go. Okay, Elaine says my favorite memory is this year, but not for me. My friend's kids came to my parents' horse ranch over the weekend. Younger ones rode the ponies and the older ones rode the horses with no stress for anyone before returning to school. No stress. Nice. Very nice indeed. Thank you for that, Elaine. So important to have those great back-to-school memories. Thank you so much for sharing them with us. We can keep this conversation going. Let us know what's your favorite back-to-school memory. Ottawa.morning@ctv.ca.
All right, time for a look at what's trending, and we are starting with some of the biggest names in film set to descend on Toronto this week as the Toronto International Film Festival officially gets underway. TIFF's 50th anniversary edition kicks off on Thursday. Nearly 300 different titles will screen at venues across downtown. The festival runs through September 14th. For screenings that still have some seats available, you can access tickets online. A big weekend in the GTA.
Woo, so exciting, so exciting. Big 10 days, actually.
Oh, yeah.
The Weeknd has made music streaming history. The Scarborough native's song Blinding Lights is the first song to reach 5 billion streams on Spotify. It took 6 years since the song's release to reach the milestone. Wow, that is incredible.
Continuing to break records. Go Weeknd, go. Finally for us, this past weekend was the final one before many outdoor public swimming pools close up for the season, but not before some carefree canines got to take maybe just one final doggy dip. For 2 hours on Sunday afternoon, some lucky four-legged residents of Toronto were allowed to cool off at 10 pools throughout the city. The dog swims are free, but people are encouraged to bring donations for Toronto Animal Services. And if they're anything like my dog, especially when it was a little bit hot on that Sunday, Monday, man, do they love the water. And look how cute. I love puppies swimming in.
They're having such a good time. That is great. Okay, so here's a look at what's coming up on the show in the next hour. At 7 o'clock, we will hear from the Director of Education for the Ottawa Catholic School Board as class gets back in session this week. At 7:10, we discuss a disturbing story parents will want to hear more about. This is concerning mental health and AI chatbots like ChatGPT. At 7:50, how to personalize your dorm room as students head back to university and college campuses this week. It is 6:54 and we're sitting at 14 degrees. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Up. I think I see the sun coming up there. A little peek of the sun this morning on your Back to School Tuesday. We'll be right back after this short break. Good morning, Ottawa.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, the #1 Ford EV dealer in Ontario.
Today, Ottawa's English public and Catholic school boards head back to the classroom today. A friendly reminder to drive carefully in school zones and to be on the lookout for students walking as traffic builds. And free parking is over. Beginning today, motorists will now have to pay for street parking in Westboro and Wellington West. St. Laurent Academy's got a new campus, and CTV Morning Live goes on a tour. It's Tuesday, September 2nd. Happy back to school. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Good morning and happy Tuesday and happy back to school. 7 o'clock on the nose. Are you excited? Are the kids watching? Are they like, come on, let's do it? I know parents are excited. How about the teachers getting ready? This is a wonderful time of year. A little bit of excitement, maybe a little bit of anxiety, but we're really glad you can start your day with us. Welcome, come on in. Melissa is away today.
Yeah, let's take a peek at what kids can expect on the Wake Up Weather, because this is the official first Wake Up Weather of our brand new school year, Rosie.
There you go, 14 degrees, mostly cloudy. Got your full weather forecast coming up in the next few minutes.
Well, as mentioned, it's the first day of school for thousands of kids in our community, and among them, the students at the Ottawa Catholic School Board. Mary Dunahee is the OCDSB's Director of Education, and she actually joins us live this morning from St. Monica's in Nepean. Good morning, Mary. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Well, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. A big day for many across the capital. How are you feeling as we enter this first week of school?
Well, I'm always excited to welcome our students and staff back to the Ottawa Catholic School Board. I'm new to my role, although I've been with the Ottawa Catholic School Board for a long time. So I think I share our students and our staff's mix of excitement and maybe a tad bit nervous.
Yeah, I feel like that's the collective agreed kind of feelings as we enter this first week. You know, a little bit excited, a little bit nervous, maybe excited to get the kids back to school and into routine, giving a break from the parents. But you know, it's a little bit different this year. And what's the board's primary focus when it comes to supporting families as well as the parents and the children this year?
Well, we have a lot of things that we focus on, but I can sort of encapsulate those in 3 areas. So we look at Be Community, and so we're always looking to support our school communities, our larger communities with our parishes, with our parent organizations. We also have a focus on being innovative, and the Ottawa Catholic School Board has always been an extremely innovative and cutting-edge board, and we continue that focus. And last, but by no means least, we have a focus on being well. And this year we'll have an added focus on really supporting and giving our staff and students strategies of how they can be mentally well. So we focus on mental health and well-being.
Well, we definitely appreciate you taking some time with us this morning to kind of guide out some of those areas that the board is really looking to focus on this year. But of course, we always like to have a little bit of fun on this show too. We've been talking in our social room about some great back to school memories, one highlight moment. Do you have one that you want to share with us this morning?
Sure, well, I have many back-to-school memories. My own, when I was a student, are from a very long time ago. So I'm going to focus, again, fairly old back-to-school memory, but when my 3 children were all in the same school, and that only happened for 2 years. And the first year, my youngest was in junior kindergarten, my second one was going into grade 1, and the third was going into grade 5. And they were at St. Gemma, one of our schools. And you know, as an educator, I wanted them to be excited about their teachers and their educators and everyone they were going to meet. But you know, it was all about the school bus.
Oh, yes. You know, my siblings and I, we are just enough apart where I missed my brother. He was graduating as I entered into high school, but I was there with my sister, so I share some of that camaraderie with you. What about yourself? Do you have one maybe from elementary school or middle school where you can remember, you know, maybe it was an outfit or seeing your friends after a summer that you can think about?
Well, that's a very long time ago, but I'm the oldest of 4 girls. And so like my own family with my own children, it was probably about going to school with my sister and, you know, getting back to our sports and activities and, of course, meeting all our friends. And then in my own family and with my own children who are all much older now, it was those after school conversations around the dinner table about everything exciting that happened.
Oh, lovely memories. Mary, again, we thank you for your time this morning and good luck on the school year.
Thanks. Have a good day, Will.
Celebrated Canadian First Nations actor Greene has died at the age of 73.
Go, Buffalo, Tatanka, Buffalo. Well.
Greene was best known for his Oscar-nominated breakthrough role as Kicking Bird in Kevin Costner's film Dances with Wolves. Greene also starred in a number of other high-profile feature films, such as The Green Mile, Maverick, and Die Hard with a Vengeance, to name a few. His manager has confirmed he died in Stratford, Ontario, after a long illness. Motorists will now have to pay for street parking in Westboro and Wellington West as time runs out on free parking in the popular business areas of Ottawa. The City of Ottawa says paid parking goes into effect as of today for on-street parking spots in the Churchill, Wellington West, Hintonburg, Richmond West, and Richmond East areas. Staff say the introduction of paid parking comes after data showed very high parking demand at peak times. Rates will be set at $3 an hour, according to the city. Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime continued his dominant performance at the U.S. Open, soaring past the tournament's round of 16.
To have a few setbacks, injuries, struggle of confidence, and then to come back the second time in the quarterfinals here, it feels much better. It feels more deserved, and I'm soaking in, every moment here.
Auger-Aliassime took on Russia's Andrei Rublev and won the bout in 3 straight sets. His next match will be in the quarterfinals today. If he wins, he could be on his way to repeating his historic U.S. Open run in 2021 when he became the first Canadian man to reach the semifinals.
A Jollof Nigerian festival took place at Andrew Hayden Park on Saturday.
The festival celebrates African culture in the capital with delicious food, including jollof rice, fashion, games for the kids, and vendors selling clothing and more. It was a great turnout with hundreds attending. And I know our cameraman Merce went over there with a friend and he said he had a great time. And I saw some IG posts. It looked like amazing. What a turnout. What a turnout indeed.
Yeah,
and perfect weather.
Yeah, great weather, and it's such a wonderful time to spend your weekend, right? Like engulfing yourself in everything that it has to do with. You can bring your family, your friends. Merce, he'll have
there
to
you
have
go.
You too.
He'll be out there too. Can't go wrong, especially when you got that gorgeous sunshine. We got a little bit of that this morning, and then more cloud than sun into the afternoon. I know right now it looks a bit cloudy, so why don't we take a look at that? But first off, your weather picture, which is brought to you by, well, Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating. Visit boxmeup.ca to book your mobile storage container today. And this is from Lori. Lori writes, this was taken on Sunday morning on Adam Lake near Perth. Like just pristine water, just crystal clear, so still. Gorgeous shot. Thank you so much for sending this in. Hey, we want to hear from you. Why don't you send us a weather picture and you could see it right here on the show. Just send it to us, weathershots@ctv.ca. Once again, that's weathershots@ctv.ca. Time now to get into your forecast. Here's your weather story. Sun cloud mix this morning. Chance of showers for the afternoon, and it is going to be a pretty warm week, today included. Let's get into it here. Satellite radar showing plenty of cloud coverage this morning. You can see there it starts to break apart a bit, and so we'll see a sun cloud mix later on this morning, but then we'll see some more cloud into the afternoon with about a 30% chance we could get a few showers, and there is that possibility of a thunderstorm as well. So what to wear today? Well, it is going to get pretty hot, 27. That's our forecast high, so some light clothing will be fine. Keep the umbrella handy because we got about a 30% chance we could get a couple of showers. Here's a look at your outdoor recess forecast. 10 a.m. sun cloud mix, 20, 22 at 11. Look at that, 23 by noon. So you're getting outside for your afternoon recess, and that's when there is that chance of a shower, risk of an afternoon thunderstorm, about 30%. We should be at 25 degrees at 1 p.m. Here's a look at your highs and lows throughout the region here. Mid-20s all around, and the chance of showers into the afternoon all around. Maniwaki, Kitigan, Zibi getting up to a high of 25 degrees today. 25 your high into Kingston, 27 into Ottawa and Cornwall with a chance of afternoon showers. Gatineau getting up to 27, even hotter still in Montreal. Montreal. It's going to be a beautiful day, mainly sunny sky, 28 Montreal, and mainly clear sky into the overnight hours in Montreal with a low of 15 degrees. The 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. Okay, here's a look at the long-range forecast. Wednesday, going to be simply gorgeous, 27 degrees. And then we're getting up to a high of 26 on to Thursday and looking like 21. So a little bit cooler as we move in toward the end of the week, 21 degrees and cloudy sky. And then on to Sunday, sun cloud mix, a high of 19 degrees. Why don't we take a live look now to time saver traffic? No major slowdowns as we return to work and head back to school on your Tuesday, September 2nd. Now, let's check out TSN's must-see moment.
Hello there, Wesley Chang with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for that, we'll head to the Labor Day Classic for this one. Argos, Ticats, Bo Levi Mitchell airs one out to Keandre Smith, who comes up with a fantastic catch. The throw wasn't exactly on target, but Smith still manages to go all out for the grab. He finished the game with 7 receptions and 171 yards, and he earns your must-see moment from Monday. Today on TSN, we've got a full day of quarterfinal action from the U.S. Open. Carlos Alcaraz, Novak Djokovic, Jessica Pegula, and Aryna Sabalenka are all in action. It all starts as early as 10:30 a.m. Central across the network. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
It's an extra special back-to-school season for the kids and staff at St. Laurent Academy. The school year is starting in a brand new campus. I had the opportunity to check out the incredible new space. My goodness. Okay, last year, Bill, we celebrated 20 years St. Laurent Academy. This year, a new campus.
A new campus.
This is gorgeous.
We are so excited, Rosie. Thank you for coming. This is such an exciting time. We have our families right now that are here for their tour. Grade 8 families. We have over 1,500 people that are visiting over 2 days. A lot of excitement.
Oh, this is absolutely a beautiful campus. Did you ever think 20 years ago, all those years ago, when you started the St. Laurent Academy, that you'd be here today?
No, absolutely not. And you know, I had 3 kids, and I wanted something different. I was always in education, and I opened a daycare, and wanted to stretch it out to grade school for my kids. Oh my goodness. And here we are, daycare through grade 12. You know, the only one in Ottawa, and we're so excited for our success.
Okay, I'm excited for a little tour. Will you take me on a tour?
Absolutely, very excited to show you around.
It is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Where are we now?
Okay, so now we're in our French wing. So this is where our students take French classes, cooking classes, from kindergarten all the way through grade 8. We want to always give them, you know, kind of a different environment and specialize, you know, their experience.
Yeah, a practical application to not just theoretical, right? Where they can actually get their hands on items and really work with the facility that you have.
And that's everywhere, Rosie. It's from kitchen to art to drama. We're very hands-on. Like the St. Laurent Academy difference is ensuring that we're meeting each student's fullest potential, and that is ensuring that we're supporting students that need support in a variety of subjects, or the students that need additional enrichment. And you know, student life, it's not only about academics. It's about drama classes. It's about having 2 gymnasiums, about weight room, cardio room, dance room, art room, 2 music classes. You know, you need to provide an overall enrichment for our students, and we've always been about that. For 20 years, we've always been about that, Rosie. But now in this building, it just provides us with so many more resources.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
The school, the campus is absolutely incredible, the new campus, and the tour will continue at St. Laurent Academy, so stay tuned for that. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Starting off not bad at all, a mix of sun and cloud. Really pretty start to your day. The sun has finally arrived. But you may have to keep the umbrella handy. We've got your full news and weather and so much more coming up after the break. You're watching CTV Morning Live. We'll be right back. Good morning, Ottawa. We want to see your back-to-school photos. Send them to us, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca, and we will share them on Friday morning show. Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. Here's what you need to know right now. It's the first day of school for thousands of kids in Ottawa. And we're taking a look now at your back-to-school forecast. It's going to be a warm one today, 27 sun-cloud mix this morning with a 30% chance of showers this afternoon. And we'll take a live look at your time-saver traffic volume. Not too bad out there, just seeing slowdowns on the Queensway, heading eastbound from Maitland and Parkdale. Notes, just a heads up that the 417 on-ramp heading westbound on the Queensway is fully closed at Holly Acres due to construction. We want to warn our viewers that our next interview is about suicide and mental health issues and may be troubling for some of our viewers. A California couple is suing OpenAI, the tech company behind ChatGPT, after their son took his own life after ChatGPT encouraged him to do so. The couple alleges their son, Adam Rain, took his own life after turning to the chatbot powered by artificial intelligence to help with mental health issues. The website then encouraged Adam to end his life. The lawsuit filed by his parents is the first wrongful death accusation against a company running an artificial intelligence chatbot. With ChatGPT and other AI programs growing in popularity, what do parents need to know about them, and what responsibility do tech companies have to keep kids safe online? Joining me now to discuss more on this tragic story is tech expert Carmi Levy. Good morning to you, Carmi. Not a very nice occasion to be talking to you, but a very important topic here.
Very much so. And as a parent, Rosie, this obviously this touches me. You know, suicide has touched my family. I lost my brother to it. So it is something that's deeply personal to me. And obviously we are seeing a significant uptick in young people using tools like ChatGPT, chatbots, as a virtual therapist, whether they know it or not, whether they set out for this or not. This is how it's being used. And unfortunately, these tools are behaving in a way for which they were designed. They're designed to engage. They're designed to keep the conversation going, and by continuing to serve up responses that they think the individual wants to see. So it isn't about recognizing signs of suicide in conversation. It's about making sure that they continue to converse, even if it means suggesting things that cross that line, that push the individual toward a tragic outcome. And so it's a combination of some of the worst factors imaginable, and unfortunately it's putting a lot of young people at risk, and their parents in many cases have no idea what's going on.
Carmi, I'm really sorry to hear about your brother, and that's again further evidence why it's so important to talk about this, as hard as it is to talk about. But I wanted to ask you about AI tools and how AI tools behave when the conversation goes on longer with those interactions. I mean, what immediate steps should tech companies like OpenAI be taking to protect young users?
By design, chatbots are designed to essentially mimic or reinforce what we are saying. So if we push the conversation as users in a particular direction, they're going to take that, build on it, and spit it back at us. So we have to recognize right now they're not designed to identify that, oh, this individual is speaking of suicide. I should now stop the conversation and suggest that they contact a healthcare professional, suggest that they call the 988 suicide prevention hotline and things like that. And so they almost doubled down, and in this case, offered to write a suicide note for that individual. And so, you know, of course, these tech companies need to be held more accountable. OpenAI, in a blog post, has said that it will introduce better protections into its tools, which is a great place to start. But there are no laws that hold these companies accountable. They're not going to be punished for this, but because they broke some kind of law. There is no law. So first, we have to have a better legislative framework in place so that these responses aren't just voluntary. And they also need to be providing better resources to parents, recognizing that the tools that they've released are being used in this way. And that means that there has to be a greater level of accountability by these tech companies to ensure they're being used safely. Right now, none of that is in place.
I mean, from what you're saying here, AI companies are reactive rather than proactive when it comes to our safety.
Very much so. I mean, the only reason that OpenAI has issued this blog post and has said that it's working on these tools is because of this lawsuit. Their original response when they heard that this 16-year-old kid had ended his life after an exchange with ChatGPT was, "Our thoughts are with the family," and they only responded after just an absolute firestorm of backlash online. And so that's where we're at with the industry. They're so focused on growth and profitability. They don't really care about the potential damage these tools are causing, and they have to be held to a higher standard. That's where better laws come in.
Carmi, what should parents do now? Where do parents stand? How can they protect their kids and themselves with OpenAI and certain ChatGPT, for example? What do we do?
It starts with a conversation. You know, parents have to be more aware of all of the tools that their kids are using. And I know it's difficult because kids are very tech savvy. A lot of parents don't see themselves as such, and they figure their kids are just going to hide that usage for them. But you need to build a trust relationship with your child around the technologies that they're using. And parents need to ensure that in that conversation, they help their children understand the dangers that these particular tools pose to them in day-to-day use. Awareness goes a long way. Trust goes a long way. That no judgment zone around the kitchen table, that goes a long way as well. Many kids are afraid to speak with their parents about the tools that they use. They're afraid of reprisal. They're afraid of being judged. And if parents start with a trust relationship around use of technology, that can go a long way toward ensuring that none of these kinds of exchanges with chatbots ever take place under the cover of darkness. If you talk with your kid, they're more likely to come to you first.
No judgment. Chat with your kids. Chat more with your kids than they do with ChatGPT. If you can do that, then you can get ahead of it, it seems.
Exactly. And use the tools yourselves, because it's one thing to read about it. It's quite another to roll up your sleeves and kind of use it in the day-to-day. That way you'll be better equipped as a parent to have those conversations with your children. Deliberately force it to, have difficult conversations. See the kind of responses that it gives. Become familiar with it so that you can have credible conversations with your kids as you both explore these tools together. The reality is we can't put ChatGPT back in the box. AI is part of the tool set that we're all using, and parents need to be aware of that as they kind of guide their kids in this going forward.
Tech expert Carmi Levy, thank you very much. This is a very important conversation, and we thank you for being part of it.
Really appreciate it, Rosie. Thank you.
Thank you. We want to remind our viewers that if you are struggling with your mental health, the Ottawa Distress Center is there for you. You can reach them at any time, 613-238-3311, or you can call Canada's National Emergency Suicide and Crisis Hotline at 988. Coming up next, the City of Ottawa has declared September Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. We will hear from some folks who know firsthand how this illness impacts people in our community. Our guests are standing by in the CTV Morning Live Lazy Boy Lounge. We'll be right back after this. Good morning, Ottawa.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us on CTV Morning Live. It is the first day back of school. We had a wonderful weather weekend for Labor Day weekend, and it's so hard to believe that that's already over, and here we are into September.
Just keeps moving along. Why don't we take a quick look at your wake-up weather? So we're at 14 degrees, and we've got mostly cloudy conditions. Full weather report coming up in the next few minutes.
All right, it's the first day of school, and thousands of kids in the Ottawa region are officially back. Ottawa's English, public, and Catholic school boards head back to the classroom today. You are reminded to drive carefully in school zones and be on the lookout for students walking at traffic pickups this morning. And a little bit earlier in the show, we did have the education director on from the Ottawa Catholic School Board talking about getting back to school today. Meantime, Ottawa's largest school board remains under provincial supervision. The Ontario government placed the OCDSB under supervision in June after the board posted 4 straight deficit budgets, including a projected $9.2 million deficit for last school year. Trustees have been locked out of their email accounts and devices, and those decisions normally made by elected officials will now be made by Robert Plamondon, who has been appointed supervisor of the OCDSB. Also, something new this year for parents. They're being asked to pack a so-called boomerang lunch for their kids. That's due to a lack of blue bins in schools. The local company that manages recyclable materials for Ottawa's 4 school boards has discontinued plastics recycling services for this fall. The OCDSB says it cannot accept plastic containers, bottles, or food packaging. Kids are being asked to take their waste back home with them at the end of the school day.
Celebrated Canadian First Nations actor Greene has died at the age of 73.
Go, Buffalo, Tatanka, Buffalo.
Greene was best known for his Oscar-nominated breakthrough role as Kicking Bird in Kevin Costner's film Dances with Wolves. Greene also starred in a number of other high-profile feature films, such as The Green Mile, Maverick, and Die Hard with a Vengeance, to name a few. His manager has confirmed he died in Stratford, Ontario, after a long illness. Motorists will now have to pay for street parking in Westboro and Wellington West as time runs out on free parking in the popular business areas of Ottawa. The City of Ottawa says paid parking goes into effect as of today for on-street parking spots in the Churchill, Wellington West, Hintonburg, Richmond West, and Richmond East areas. Staff say the introduction of paid parking comes after data showed very high parking demand at peak times. Rates will be set at $3 an hour, according to the city.
More than 24 Liberal MPs have signed a letter calling for action against anti-Semitism after the stabbing of a Jewish woman at an Nepean grocery store last week. Ottawa police have charged a 71-year-old with aggravated assault and possession of a dangerous weapon and are treating the stabbing as a hate-motivated crime. Quebec MP Anthony Housefather posted the letter on social media. It reads in part, "Right now, Jews make up slightly more than 1% of Canada's population, but are the victims of 70% of reported religious-based acts of hate." Canada's wildfire season is already the 2nd worst on record, and it's showing no signs of slowing down. In the Northwest Territories, 90 fires are currently out of control, prompting evacuation orders of 2 communities. Across BC, thousands of lightning strikes have sparked new fires in the province, nearly tripling in just a matter of days. As of Monday, around 160 are burning in that province, but there is some relief in Newfoundland and Labrador, where there is currently only 1 out-of-control fire burning. U.S. President Donald Trump says that he will be awarding the Presidential Medal of Honor to his former attorney and longtime ally, Rudy Giuliani. The announcement comes after Giuliani was involved in an accident over the weekend. He suffered several injuries, but his head of security says that he is recovering. Giuliani also served as New York City's mayor during and after the 9/11 attacks. He fell into a slew of legal and financial troubles in the wake of the 2020 elections that saw Trump lose the presidency towards Joe Biden.
Hundreds of people lined a neighborhood in Brantford, Ontario to cheer on young racers in the city's 69th annual Labor Day Soapbox Derby.
In Brantford, this is a great Labor Day tradition, which is the Brantford District Labor Council Soapbox Derby. Been going for 69 years straight. It's a great tradition. It marks for kids that it's the beginning of the school year, for parents the end of the summer, and a great way to celebrate Labor Day.
49 children, with the help of friends and family in pit crews, brought new and vintage soapbox cars towards the event, hosted each year by the Brantford District Labor Council.
This year's race took place in an alternative location due to construction downtown, but Brantford's mayor said he hopes the event will return to its usual location soon.
Super fun event in great conditions, and of course top of mind at this point, especially as kids are going back to school, getting ready. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of nerves, a lot of excitement, and they need to be best prepared weather-wise.
Yeah, it's great that the weather is so nice because kids are heading back to school. That means you've got a lot more kids running around on the sidewalks and crossing streets, so be careful out there, but at least the weather is going to cooperate. This morning we've got a sun-cloud mix. Let's take a look and see how things are going to shape up for us. So it's going to get pretty warm this afternoon. 27 your high. Starting off, sun-cloud mix this morning. Keep the umbrella handy. We may get a shower or two into the afternoon. We got about a 30% chance. Bancroft still in the single digits. We're at 8. Pembroke at 12 to start off the day. Cornwall sitting at 13, as well as Kingston. And we're sitting at 11 in Maniwaki, and into Gatineau, 13 degrees. Montreal is going to be a beautiful day, 12 degrees to start off. So we're taking a look at our forecast here into Tuesday afternoon. Slight chance we might get a couple of showers. You can see that green filling in there, and then into the overnight hours as well. We got about a 30% chance of showers, and we'll talk about some wet weather that looks like it's headed our way onto Thursday into the afternoon and early Friday morning. But for today, this morning, sun cloud mix, 15 degrees by 8 a.m. and then we've got about a 30% chance we could see a few showers. The risk of an afternoon thunderstorm, 27 your high. It'll feel closer to 29. We should get up to a high of about 22, so we'll be well above our average high today. Very warm indeed. Beautiful for Wednesday. Sunny sky, a high of 27. So another warm day, but this time we're looking at dry conditions. And then on Thursday, cloudy sky, and it looks like that disturbance is going to push in into the afternoon, bringing with it a few showers. 26 your high, down to a low of 12 degrees. So your school forecast, here it is, 27 this afternoon, with about a 30% chance of afternoon showers. So just be aware of that. Why don't we take a live look now at your time saver traffic? Not too bad out there, definitely picking up. Just seeing slowdowns on the Queensway heading eastbound from Maitland and Kent. Westbound looking slow from Vanier to Nicholas. And a reminder, the 417 on-ramp heading westbound on the Queensway is fully closed at Holly Acres, and that is due to construction.
Time Saver Traffic is brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
All right, we got some long weekend Sunday birthdays to celebrate with you this morning. We're going to kick it off with a happy 7th birthday to Brooke. Wishing you the best day ever. Love, Mom, Dad, Eve, Darby, and Tubes.
Happy 10th birthday to Camden. Double digits already. Mom, Dad, Sister Margot, Grandma, Grandpa, Grandpa Jim, all your aunts, uncles, and cousins who say they are so proud of you.
The whole family getting in on that one. All right, Monday, September 1st. Happy 4th birthday, Antonio, with lots of love from Mama, Daddy, Big Sister Brie, Little Sister Camilla, Rolla, Grandmama, Nona, and all of your friends and your family. You will rock junior kindergarten.
There you go. Happy 10th birthday to Thomas. Love always from Mama, Papa, Elliot, and the rest of your family who say you amaze them always, and they are so proud of you. We got your Tuesday, September 2nd birthdays. Happy 9th birthday to Griffin, who turns 9 today. Lots of love from Mommy, Daddy, and Stella, who say you are totally awesome in every way. Happy 4th birthday to Tate. Hugs and kisses from Mom, Dad, and Ava. Have a great first day at school. If your little one has a birthday, we want to share it with our viewers. Send us your announcements for kids who are 13 and younger. All we need is their name, age, and hometown. Email us, ottawa.birthdays at ctv.ca, and we will get their announcement on the air. Will.
Well, the City of Ottawa has proclaimed September Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe signed this proclamation naming the month Prostate Cancer Awareness Month after an application from Prostate Cancer Support Ottawa. Joining me now to tell us a little bit more is Al Carroll. He is the chair of Prostate Cancer Support Ottawa. And we have Terry with us as well. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having us.
It's so wonderful, and you know, here we are kicking off a brand new month, and it's so great to have this focus. But we do have a personal story to talk about of why you're involved here.
Yes, I first got prostate cancer 8 years ago. It snuck up on me. Luckily, I was going to my doctor on a regular basis, and he was doing regular PSA checks, but suddenly my level started going up. So 7 years ago, I went through a complete set of treatments, and I'm here and well, and therefore I wanted to give back, and I joined the Ottawa Prostate Cancer Support Group.
I think it's such a great story too, right? Because you go through something like that is obviously unexpected, and now here you are trying to help others that are in similar situations and get the word out. So I think it's so wonderful you're joining us this morning. And Terry, how great is it to have the full support? Now this month, the mayor is in on it right now, and we're focusing in on prostate cancer for this month of September.
Well, that's just terrific. It's really great to have a municipal factor helping us broadcast our mission and what we do and helping people. Yeah.
It's so great. And what are some of the things that you guys want to focus on, especially as we gear up here? We're getting into the first week. Like, what's really the goal throughout the month, continuing on?
Well, we do a number of functions. We have regular meetings for our individuals, families, men and their families who are struggling with prostate cancer or newly diagnosed. But from an awareness perspective, we're out there talking to people to get men to start thinking about it and talking to their doctors. And then in the middle of the week at Winchester Memorial Hospital, there's a free PSA clinic. And last year we had 350 men show up to have a prostate cancer PSA test. And there will be another one not this Saturday, next Saturday.
13th, yeah, 13th.
The 13th.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, I feel like a lot of this too, and I've done a lot of work, I know Ride for Dads and organizations that focus on men's prostate cancer. And a lot of people talk about, you know, the stigma around it and just getting the test. How important is it, especially going through it, you know, to get the test? And what would be your message to people being a little bit nervous to do something like that?
Well, I think that it's important. Prostate cancer, if it's diagnosed early, it's fully treatable. And then you can live the rest of your life with your lifestyle as it should be. If it's left, we often see people that they weren't able to get tests, and then it's moved into other parts of their body, and it's very hard to treat at that time. So it's important to get early detection.
Yeah, and I think early detection is key and critical. And as you said, if you can get it early enough, there is work that can be done. At what age should people be looking at getting that test done?
Okay, so the average age of diagnosis is 69. That was the age that I was diagnosed at 8 years ago. And I was treated with radiation, my choice, and I'm still PSA below 0.01. So it's undetectable. But in terms of getting checked, there's three major risk factors. Age, the older you get, the higher the risks are. Ethnicity, black people get it about twice as often as the rest of us. And if it's in your family. So those factors are things to think about. And especially if you've had it in your family, it's time to talk to your doctor and get an idea of whether or not testing is the right thing. It isn't always the right thing.
Right.
And PSA testing, by the way, doesn't actually reveal cancer per se. It's like a check engine light on your car. It's time to go and have a look a little bit deeper.
Got it. But being through it for you both, the earlier the better. Just, you know, take the test, make sure just in case there is something there. We really appreciate your time. If people are looking for more information on what you guys do and to continue throughout the month of September, where should they head to?
Our website, PCSO Ottawa. We have lots of information. Also, the Prostate Cancer Foundation of Canada has a website, and a lot of information. Sometimes there's too much information, and that's where we come in. We help people navigate through some of the information.
Great. Well, we appreciate that. Al, Terry, again, thanks for coming in this morning and sharing your story and continuing with that focus this month.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Will.
All right, we're going to take a peek outside. Roads are looking a little bit congested at this time. It is the first day of school. Hard to believe we are already back here, and you know what? You can see the sunshine trying to poke out on this beautiful Tuesday. Temperatures will be above seasonal. We are cruising into the 8 o'clock hour. We'll be right back after a few breaks.
Sun Cloud mix for you right now. There's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. We're sitting at 14 degrees. Not a bad way to head back to school on this Tuesday. University and college classes are getting underway this week, and that means hundreds of students have moved into their rooms and residence on local campuses. Here to tell us how to elevate that dorm room and space and make it your own on a student's budget is designer Candice Plotz. Good morning.
Good morning,
good to have you
Rosie.
back.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
Okay, so students,
Yes.
they're back to school.
Yes.
Okay, they're back in the classroom. They're at the dorm.
Yes.
Now they get a moment to kind of look
Yeah.
around and go, okay,
What do I need?
I need some more stuff here.
Yeah.
What do I need?
Storage in a small space
So
is
important.
key. It's everything.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with baskets. You know, think under bed.
Yes.
Closet, drawers, anything that, you know, every nook and cranny that you can fill with storage is wonderful. Yeah, so
Okay.
you know, utilizing every square inch is critical.
So important because
It
let's
re-
be honest, the space not
It's
that
tight.
big.
It's tight,
Yes.
and often
Okay.
shared. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So you got beautiful baskets though. These are beautiful.
So everything I'm showing today is from Diamond Store, which we may not necessarily always think about, but they have a great selection of, you know,
beautiful.
organization.
Yeah. Okay, that's for the top of the desk. This goes under the bed
Under
if
the
you
bed,
can,
in
or
the
on
closet.
in the closet, very
Yeah.
important. Okay.
So,
what else do you
of
have?
course, you know, we need shower caddies.
Yeah,
you know.
that's so true. I remember you'd have to go to the shower. You didn't have your bathroom for many dorm rooms.
Yes.
It's down the hall. It's not in your room.
Yeah, so they have lots of great like shower caddy options.
That's
You know,
important.
often you have a desk or a dresser.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Oh, this is
again,
beautiful.
yeah, like for jewelry,
Oh, I love
makeup,
that.
multi-purpose.
Okay.
Again, drawer organization is everything so that you have a place to store everything. This would be great for makeup. This would be great for jewelry. And again, just other caddy options that are like wonderful.
You know what? It's really good looking as well.
I know.
The design is beautiful. I love the rounded.
Because the reality is it has to stay out, so it's visible. So why not make it pretty
Make
as
it
well?
look nice as
Yeah,
well. Okay.
yeah. And then, of course, closet organization
So
and drawer.
important.
Yeah. So, you know, hanging, this is a fabulous product. It doubles your hanging space. So
Look
it
at
hooks
that.
onto the top rod, but then it comes with a secondary rod. And then you've got lots of space for like sweaters, jeans, whatever you want to fold in there. Again, we've got drawer organizations. Keep everything uber organized.
That's so important.
And of course, velvet hangers are wonderful. They're really great because clothes don't fall off of them. Yeah.
And it treats the clothes nicely
Yeah,
too.
and
I
again,
find.
because a lot of times there's not a door, it's open.
Yes,
At least
looks
everything
good.
is like consistent and
that
looks good.
really good.
Yeah.
And you can really maximize your space
You
here with
can.
the thinner
Yes.
hangers. This great
Yeah.
closet organizer.
Yeah.
You make the
You're
most out of the closet.
doubling your hanging.
Yes.
Yeah, which is
okay.
key. And then I brought in this fabulous
Look at
laundry
this.
hamper. I think
Oh.
it's great. They lift out.
No
So if you
way.
wanted to just like take it and go
There
with
you
your
go.
laundry, that's super convenient. You can be keeping it sorted as you go.
Very nice.
And I thought this little cart was fabulous. Again, sometimes laundry is multiple floors away.
Yeah.
Also great for going for groceries, you know, the
Yeah.
things that you need to run around.
You can fit a lot in there.
You
too.
can, and it's so light.
And look
Look
at that.
Yeah.
And runs really well.
Yeah.
Do you have a promo code for our viewers?
I sure do. Candace10 on diamond.ca. Yeah, take advantage.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to save, what, 10%?
Yeah,
or so?
10%.
Candace 10.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't go wrong with that. Candace Plot, it's always so wonderful to have you come in, walk us through different ways to maximize the space with great, great items here. I love it, Candace.
Thanks, Rosie.
Thank
Great
you so
to see
much.
you.
Thank you so much. Great to see you, too. We are back with so much more. You're watching CTV Morning Live. We're back with the final hour of the show, 7:56. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Good morning, Ottawa.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. Cruising through the 8 o'clock hour. We got one more hour left, but it is a very important day. It is the first day back to school for thousands and thousands of students, teachers, and of course, the parents may be thrilled with that as well.
Beautiful start to back to school. Here's a look. A live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Nice way to start the day. We got partly cloudy conditions. Here's a look at your wake-up weather. We are sitting at 13 degrees, and your weather story, sun-cloud mix this morning with a chance of showers. We'll get into your full weather report coming up in the next few minutes.
Nice not to have the rainfall on this first day of school, as thousands of kids are back in the Ottawa region. Ottawa's English, public, and Catholic school boards head back to the classroom today. You are reminded to drive carefully in school zones and be on the lookout for students that are walking around as traffic picks up this morning. Meantime, Ottawa's largest school board remains under provincial supervision. The Ontario government placed the OCDSB under supervision in June after the board posted 4 straight deficit budgets, including a projected $9.2 million deficit for last school year. Trustees have been locked out of their email accounts and devices, and decisions normally made by elected officials will now be made by Robert Plamondon, who has been appointed supervisor of the OCDSB. Also, something new this year, parents are being asked to pack so-called boomerang lunches for their kids due to a lack of blue bins in schools. The local company that manages recyclable materials for Ottawa's 4 school boards has discontinued plastics recycling services this fall. The OCDSB says it cannot accept plastic containers, bottles, or food packaging. Kids are being asked to take their waste back home with them at the end of the day.
Celebrated Canadian First Nations actor Graham Greene has died at the age of 73.
Go, Buffalo, Tatanka, Buffalo.
Greene was best known for his Oscar-nominated breakthrough role as Kicking Bird in Kevin Costner's film Dances with Wolves. Greene also starred in a number of other high-profile feature films, such as The Green Mile, Maverick, and Die Hard with a Vengeance, to name a few. His manager has confirmed he died in Stratford, Ontario, after a long illness. Motorists will now have to pay for street parking in Westboro and Wellington West as time runs out on free parking in the popular business areas of Ottawa. The City of Ottawa says paid parking goes into effect as of today for on-street parking spots in the Churchill, Wellington West, Hintonburg, and Richmond West and Richmond East areas. Staff say the introduction of paid parking comes after data showed very high parking demand at peak times. Rates will be set at $3 an hour, according to the city.
More than 24 Liberal MPs have signed a letter calling for action against anti-Semitism after the stabbing of a Jewish woman at a Nepean grocery store last week. Ottawa police have charged a 71-year-old with aggravated assault and possession of a dangerous weapon and are treating the stabbing as a hate-motivated crime. Quebec MP Anthony Housefather posted the letter on social media. It reads in part, "Right now, Jews make up slightly more than 1% of Canada's population, but are the victims of 70% of reported religious-based acts of hate." Canada's wildfire season is already the second worst on record, and it's showing no signs of slowing down. In the Northwest Territories, 90 fires are out of control, prompting evacuation orders of 2 communities. Across BC, thousands of lightning strikes have sparked new fires in the province, nearly tripling in a matter of days. As of Monday, around 160 are burning in that province, but there is some relief in Newfoundland and Labrador, where there is currently only 1 out-of-control fire burning.
More than 800 people are dead and 2,800 injured following a devastating 6.0 magnitude earthquake in Afghanistan. Thousands of homes, roads, and villages were destroyed as rescuers struggled to reach remote areas due to mountainous terrain and rainy weather. It's a region where people live on less than $1 a day. In a social media post, Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada stands ready to provide humanitarian support as the Afghan people recover and rebuild.
U.S. President Donald Trump says that he will be awarding the Presidential Medal of Honor to his former attorney and longtime ally, Rudy Giuliani. The announcement comes after Giuliani was involved in an accident over the weekend. He suffered several injuries, but his head of security says that he is recovering. Giuliani also served as New York City's mayor during and after the 9/11 attacks. He fell into a slew of legal and financial trouble in the wake of the 2020 elections that saw Trump lose the presidency to Joe Biden.
Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime continued his dominant performance at the U.S. Open, soaring past the tournament's round of 16.
To have a few setbacks, injuries, struggle of confidence, and then to come back the second time in the quarterfinals here, it feels much better. It feels more deserved, and I'm soaking in, every moment here.
Auger-Aliassime took on Russia's Andrei Rublev and won the bout in 3 straight sets. His next match will be in the quarterfinals today. If he wins, he could be on his way to repeating his historic U.S. Open run in 2021 when he became the first Canadian man to reach the semifinals.
An investigation is underway after people stopped on a Toronto highway to try and corral a loose dog.
Police say the incident happened just before 3 p.m. Monday on the Gardiner Expressway in Toronto. Witness video shows several people trying to corner the animal.
Yeah, police say the dog was picked up before they arrived at the scene, and it is not immediately clear how the dog even got onto the highway, but obviously causing some commotion in the GTA.
Time now to talk about your forecast on this very first day back to school for thousands of students. I know parents are excited, students are excited, and teachers as well. Wishing you all a very successful first day back to school. Why don't we get into it and talk about your forecast? Here's your weather story. Sun cloud mix this morning, chance of afternoon showers, and then it's going to be pretty warm today and for most of this week. Over the next 12 hours, here's how it's shaping up into the afternoon, 26 by 2 p.m., 30% chance of showers for us and a risk of an afternoon thunderstorm. And forecast calling for a high of 27. It's going to feel closer to 29 when you factor in the humidex. So just a touch of humidity in there. And then into this afternoon, we're talking about the possibility of some showers. You can see there, nothing really well organized. You can see the green there just sitting above us around 4 p.m. Could materialize into a few passing showers into the afternoon, and there is that risk of an afternoon thunderstorm. Into Thursday, we'll talk about a good chance we'll see some late day showers and into Friday morning. All right, your outdoor recess forecast. Here's how it's looking. 10 a.m. we should be at 20 degrees, 22 by 11. It's going to be very warm into the afternoon, 23 at noon, 25 by 1 p.m. Now into the afternoon for your afternoon recess, that's when we could get a shower or two passing through the region. A regional forecast up and highs and lows throughout the region, getting into the mid-20s for most of the region, and most of the region we're looking at a chance of afternoon showers. Kittigan-Zibi 25 down to a low of 12 degrees. Into Kingston 25 and a low of 12 with a chance of afternoon showers, and into Cornwall 27 your high, chance of afternoon showers, and into Mont Tremblant mostly cloudy today with a chance of showers, 25 your high, and Looks like Montreal, a hot spot in that region. 28 the forecast high. It's going to be beautiful, sunny mainly, and then just a few clouds into the overnight hours, down to a low 15 degrees. Here's a look at the long-range forecast, and we're going to get up to a high of 27 tomorrow, beautiful and sunny. Thursday, cloudy. Friday, also cloudy, 21 degrees. So that's when the cooler air starts to move into the region, just in time for the Red Blacks. They take on BC at home, TD Place. And then looks like Atletico getting into action on Saturday. Cloudy conditions and a high of 20 degrees. Why don't we take a live look now to time-saver traffic? We are seeing slowdowns on the Queensway, heading eastbound from Maitland and Kent. Westbound looking slow from Vanier to Nicholas. Now let's check out TSN's must-see moment.
Hello there, Wesley Chang with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for that, we'll head to the Labor Day Classic for this one. Argos, Ticats, Bo Levi Mitchell airs one out to Keandre Smith, who comes up with a fantastic catch. The throw wasn't exactly on target, but Smith still manages to go all out for the grab. He finished the game with 7 receptions and 171 yards, and he earns your must-see moment from Monday. Today on TSN, we've got a full day of quarterfinal action from the U.S. Open. Carlos Alcaraz, Novak Djokovic, Jessica Pegula, and Aryna Sabalenka are all in action. It all starts as early as 10:30 a.m. Central across the network. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Continuing my tour of St. Laurent Academy's brand new campus, I got to check out the school's athletics program as class gets back in session. Andrew, phys ed director.
Yes,
Here at St. Laurent Academy. It's a different campus.
Different campus, yes.
This is incredible. This is huge.
Thank you.
I see that what kind of opportunities and upgrades are we talking about with the new campus?
Yeah, I mean, so like last year, our old location was great. Really proud of the program we have, but obviously coming here, we're not moving up to the next level. We're moving up about 5 levels. So currently we're in our lower gymnasium. Okay. So we have our open house going on right now. People coming and going. Everyone's pretty excited. So we have our upper gym as well as this one.
Okay.
We have our weight room, which is pretty much full of kind of up-to-date new equipment. Right next to it is we have our cardio room. We also have just down the hall is our dance studio. And just down this hallway, we have our table tennis room. So again, very proud of what we had in years past, but again, looking forward, this new location kind of offers everything times 10 of what we could offer before.
Let's talk about the St. Laurent Academy approach to physical education, physical fitness.
So it's a daily program. So all of our students get daily phys ed, so 50 minutes, either in our lower gym or our upper gym, and with all those rooms to complement and accommodate what we have. But ultimately, phys ed is supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be about fun. Kids need to have fun. They need to move and jump and play. And I would like to say it is as much about physical health as mental health. Kids should see it on their schedule and smile and think, I'm about to listen to music, play some games, have some fun.
I think that is so important.
Absolutely.
And the new campus offers such great opportunity to do that, to have some fun, get some physical activity. And you even have a new basketball court outside that I got to see.
And I mean, all of it, you know, obviously the phys ed program is, it's our foundation, it's our core. But you mentioned the basketball court outside. It's just another way that we can kind of develop our kids and give them opportunities. And then as we kind of move from phys ed is into our athletics program, our sports teams. And our sports teams, it's a pretty robust program. So starting pretty much the first week of school, you're moving into, we have team sports, volleyball, soccer, basketball, we have hockey, we have rugby, we have our individual sports, track and field, cross country, badminton, skiing, swimming. Ultimately, if you're a student at our school and you have a love of something, we'll find a way to put something together for you to have some really great memories.
And I can see here that there's a lot of students that take it very seriously, seeing all the banners and championships
I can assure
that
you,
you've won here.
Our students, I'll be honest, I don't take myself very seriously, but I take my job very seriously.
Yeah.
And the kids' excitement, I remember what it was like. I played sports growing up, and being able to provide that for our kids, it's so important. I had a couple kids already today point at me and say, "I'm ready for soccer, Mr. Minio," and I said, "Boys and girls, I'm ready too." So I can't wait to get going.
Just a beautiful new facility. Well, coming up on CTV Morning Live, make the return to work and, of course, school just a little bit easier with some delicious plant-based chef-made meals. We'll tell you a little bit more about that in our Daily Dish coming up in just a matter of moments. Stay with us. You are watching CTV Morning Live. Happy Tuesday.
On Sunday, October 5th, CHEO's RBC Race for the Kids will support the largest redevelopment campaign in CHEO's 50-year history. Join CTV and Move 100 and register now for the 5K or 10K timed all-terrain routes or the 2K accessible family fun run at Wesley Clover Parks. Whether you run, walk, or cheer participants on, there will be something for everyone with music, food, and activities to enjoy. Register now for CHEO's RBC Race for the Kids and help support pediatric health care in our community.
Ready to reap what you've sown this season? Join CTV Morning Live Friday for the best gardening tips from local experts to help your yard flourish into fall.
Good to Grow on CTV Morning Live, Fridays, brought to you in part by Robert Plant Greenhouses.
All right, happy Tuesday and first day back of school. 13 degrees currently, so a little bit cooler, partly cloudy, no rainfall as of yet. You know what? As far as first day of school conditions go, we are looking pretty good. Well, Veronique Dow is the chef and entrepreneur behind Naturally Véro, a plant-based cafe and meal delivery service based in Chelsea. She's passionate about making meals healthy, especially for those busy families. And now it's back to school, so there couldn't be a better time to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course. So first time, before we get into all this delicious food, and we put me to, we'll say, a little bit of work, tell me about the business, because I think it's such a wonderful idea, and you're helping people, you know, who are very busy this time of year.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we do an all plant-based meal delivery service. Started this about 10 years ago. I went vegan about 10 years ago from health reasons, and I found at that time it was really hard to find good tasting plant-based food, especially like with enough variety. So I took matters in my own hands and started making my own meals, and then it sort of snowballed. Friends started asking me to cook for them, word got out, then everybody started asking me to cook for them. So I quit my job, got a commercial kitchen, and started making this beautiful meal service.
Well, I think it's so wonderful too, right? Because it comes to a situation where, all right, now you are going to be vegan and you're making these plant-based meals, and you're right, you know, sometimes it's really difficult to find good tasting ones, and look at what you create here.
Yeah, thank you.
They're not just aesthetically pleasing, but they're all delicious
Which
too.
is important.
So what are some of the menu items that you brought with us today?
Yeah, so this is this current week's menu. We actually have a new menu every single week. We try to add a lot of variety. So we have our famous pad thai. This is our tofu poke bowl. We have beautiful coconut curry meatballs. We have lemon pie overnight oats, a matcha raspberry chia pudding, soup, and these are our famous date balls that we include in our snacks.
Oh my goodness! And then you already know, but I've got my those date balls.
Yeah, they're delicious.
And you're the best person too, right? Because you make all these meals. You've been there before, so you test everything. You go, okay, that is Veronique certified.
I've been doing this for a long time, and I am one of those live to eat, not eat to live people. So.
Oh, I love it. So we got to make it taste delicious while getting what you need. So you'll put me to work. What are you going to make today?
So we're going to make our famous chia pudding. Everybody's been asking me for the recipe, so I thought today's the day to finally show our secret recipe.
All right, you heard it here first.
That's right. So the secret ingredient is coconut milk, but from a can, not from the carton. We always use coconut milk. We dilute it in half. So we do half coconut milk, so half a cup, and half a cup of water. So the coconut milk, when you set it in the fridge, it's going to set to be this beautiful creamy texture, as opposed to using like almond milk or anything else.
Right.
3 tablespoons of chia seeds. These are great because they add a lot of protein and fiber. They're really filling, and they're great for a breakfast or a snack. Okay, then we add maple syrup, local maple syrup.
Now we're talking.
To taste.
A
As much
generous
as you
amount.
want. Yeah, always. And then a splash of vanilla. And that's it. It's super easy. You just shake it or mix it like this. Okay, and then you put it in the fridge overnight and it'll set
Okay.
to this texture like this.
Yum, and it's so important too, right? Because like with these meals, like the chia seeds and stuff, like getting enough fiber, especially to start your day, then you don't really need to think about it throughout the rest of your day.
And what's great about this is that it's gluten-free, it's low carb, and you can make it, nut-free if you need to for school. And you can add whatever toppings you want. You can have fun with it.
Yeah,
so I brought I brought two different kinds. I don't know what kind of vibe you are, but if you
you know what? I'm gonna make you guess. That's what we're gonna do.
Oh,
so
gosh.
you explain them, and then whatever you think as you go, you drop them in there.
Okay, so because it's fall and back to school, everyone's all about pumpkin spice these days. I thought we'd kind of go that route.
Okay.
We make our very own pumpkin butter in-house. It's delicious. So you could add that there. All right. Add that. We have some pumpkin seeds. Again, you're adding a little bit more protein and fiber and antioxidants there.
You're 2 for 2?
That's right. This is some pumpkin pie spice.
Oh, I don't even know if I've ever had that.
Oh, it's so good. It's got cinnamon and ginger and nutmeg. We have hemp seeds here. Again, protein, fiber, really good for you.
Oh my goodness.
And then we can sort of decorate it if you want. You got some star anise, some cinnamon stick, and why not a nice little edible flower from our garden.
Yes. All right. Do you mind if I use this guy right here?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Now we got to get each layer in here too.
Yeah, you do.
You chose very well.
I did? Okay.
Are you sure we just met? So delicious.
Thank you.
And fresh.
Right? Yeah.
I think what's so great about this too is, it can be hard to find, if you're looking to eat like this and be on this nutrition diet, sometimes it can be difficult to maybe find those tasty foods. And I'm not even on that nutrition, and I'm going to keep going into this chia pudding. For people looking to maybe come check you out or find more information, where will they find you?
Yeah, so you can find information online at naturallyvéro.com, or you can actually come by and see me directly at our cafe in beautiful Chelsea. I'm there every day. We're open every day. I'm really there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate your time, and congratulations, because this is such an amazing business. And you started it from something, you saw a problem, and you created it, and now all this deliciousness. So appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, if you have a daily dish idea, we want to have you on our show, you can email us, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca, and we will try to get you on the show. Rosie, I got some chia pudding to finish. We'll toss things back over to you.
Going back to school is an exciting time for many kids, but for some, including LGBTQ2S+ students and new Canadians, it can be a challenging and stressful time. How can parents support their kids as they head back to the classroom? Joining me now is Rachel Reithman. She is a registered psychotherapist and the owner of Sandstone Psychotherapy and Counseling. We have to talk about this, getting back to school, and how parents can help relieve some of that stress and anxiety heading back to school. I wanted to talk to you. Good morning, by the way.
Morning.
Getting back to school, it's fascinating. It can be quite intense. It can be exciting. And I wanted to get into this. Okay, first off, some kids have to deal with loneliness. And how do they do that? And how can parents help them through that time?
Yeah, we see a lot of students that come in and they tell us that they're lonely. And it can come from so many different places. And so one of the things that we work with our students who are expressing that they don't fit in, they feel lonely, is we want to help them discover sort of their inner strength, who they are, and having them recognize that their people are out there somewhere. They might not be right there where they are sitting in the moment, but if they can work on recognizing that and looking for their people. So we want to help them start there.
Okay, help them start there. I guess this is, okay, coming from a parent and reminiscing, heading back to school, how you encourage your child to get back into the classroom and feel confident. You want them to walk in and ready to take on the world. Would something like this, you've got this. And if they came back and said, I feel kind of lonely, would it be okay to say you're going to find your people and give them that space to find somebody, find friends?
Absolutely. And it's that fine balance for the parents of not doing too much, but make sure you're doing enough.
Yeah.
So it's really about listening to what your kids have to say. So give them that encouragement, like you said, like you got this, like, one day at a time, you've got this. But also listening to them. And if they're coming in and telling you, I'm lonely, I don't fit in, school's awful, is sit with them and just ask them, right? So let's help you find your people. Is there something else that we can do? Where do you want to go? And, school might not be their place, but parents can help them find somewhere else.
Like an activity.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can be anything from sports to, music lessons, art lessons, volunteering.
Yeah.
There's so many different things out there for kids. So for the parents, really, listening to their kids and try and get creative and help the kids with that and hearing what they have to say.
Rachel, what happens if you're listening to your kids, they're talking to you and they're telling you that they're being bullied?
Yeah, and again, listening, and it happens. And we always tell our kids, tell your parents, tell your teachers.
Yes.
And kids do that, but a lot of times they don't want to. They're worried that, I don't want my parents to step in, or if I tell, it'll get worse.
Okay.
So, when we work with kids that are sharing that in our sessions, is we really want to work to help them find who they are authentically, help them find their inner strength, and give them that place to say, yeah, I do have some power, I do have some inner strength. And when they can recognize some of that inner strength that they have, maybe they can walk just a little taller. Maybe they can have just a smidgen more confidence in who they are. And if they feel that strength somewhere else, can they carry a bit of that strength with them in that school where they're not feeling good or where they're being bullied?
Can we take some of the attention now and put it on the students? And in terms of diversity, you've got students who are part of the LGBTQ2S+ community. They're also neurodivergent students. What can we say to students who are going back to school when it comes to those different groups?
Yeah, so find your people. Find where you have like-minded people, and sometimes it's, so I like to say, do it scared, right? Find a mantra that works for you. Maybe that person sitting over there is waiting for you to say something first. And it doesn't have to be big. It can be you're walking into the classroom and just make eye contact or a little nod. Keep your eyes open and find something that works for you, right? I can do it today. I can take one more step. This might not be my day, but my day's coming.
Rachel Reithman from Sandstone Psychotherapy and Counseling. It was really great to just touch on these different points. And what I take away from this is that communication is so important. Parents and students and other students, and take it one day at a time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rachel. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much, Rosie.
All right, Will, over to you.
Well, firefighters from across the country will be cycling to Ottawa this week. They are heading to the National Firefighters Memorial to honor their fallen colleagues. CTV's Carroll Charles has that story.
Jordan Ritchie is fine-tuning his bike before he sets off to Ottawa. He is preparing for no ordinary ride. The Pickering firefighter will be joined by 70 other colleagues as they embark on the 9th annual Celtic Fire Memorial Ride in memory of fallen firefighters. For Ritchie, this year's ride has special meaning as he remembers his father. Paul Ritchie died on June 6, 2024 due to occupational cancer.
it was from the diagnosis, official diagnosis, to Dad passing away. It was 8 short days. You know, he was a firefighter for over 35 years, had only been retired for 3 years, and only really just got to start getting out and enjoying his retirement.
Like his father, Jordan is proud of his profession, and he was fortunate to occasionally serve alongside his dad, who worked at a neighboring fire hall in Ajax.
Dad was a great guy. You know, he was a family man. He loved his job. He loved my mom, my brother, myself, our extended family. He loved to travel, had a love of vehicles, love of cars. And, you know, our biggest regret is the fact that he didn't get to fully enjoy his retirement.
This year, Paul Ritchie will be added to the Remembrance Wall in Ottawa.
It's going to be a bit of a somber experience when I'm back in Ottawa for another memorial, but now it's going to be my dad's name on the wall.
This year, 140 names will be added to the wall, with 112 families in attendance. Jordan has been preparing for this ride for over a year.
On average, I'm riding 3 to 4 days a week, somewhere between 60 and 100 kilometers each ride.
The group will be cycling for 3 days. In total, a strenuous 575-kilometer ride. They push off in Hamilton and pedal all the way to Ottawa's National Firefighters Memorial.
The one thing I am looking forward to is riding with 70-plus other riders from 18 different departments across the country and having that camaraderie.
To date, 2,200 names are on the wall, and ride organizer David Cossett says it's important to recognize their sacrifice.
It's really important just because we need to recognize those people that have been lost in the line of duty, the sacrifices that not only that they have made, but also that their families have made by losing a loved one.
The Celtic Fire Memorial Ride has already raised $70,000. The goal is to hit $100,000 this year. The money will support the upkeep of the memorial site, families, as well as children who have lost loved ones in the line of duty. The Memorial Weekend will take place September 5th through the 7th. Carroll Charles, CTV News.
A truly amazing story. Well, coming up, take a moment for yourself during the busy back-to-school season and indulge in just a little bit of self-care. That's coming up just ahead. Our guest is standing by in the CTV Live Morning Live Lazy Boy Lounge. We still have a little bit more, so stay with us on this first day back to school. Traffic starting to lighten up a little bit in certain areas, but still be cautious, not just on the highways, but out in the local communities, as children will be on their return around the school. So just take a little bit of extra time today. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are starting to see a little bit of sunshine through our Centennial Glass Skycam, which is so nice on this first day of school. Temperatures in the mid-teens, climbing up to 27 this afternoon. Well, it's no secret that many Canadians are not traveling to the U.S. this year as a bitter trade war continues. A report analytics company, Tourism Economics, shows that there has been an 8.2% decline in international visits towards the U.S. this year, led about 1/4 fewer Canadians visiting America from January to July 2025. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA. And Bill, why don't we start this conversation with a quote from a U.S. citizen saying he is super duper angry.
Yeah, he's super duper angry with his own government, and I'm super duper angry with mine. I'd like some leadership now from our Prime Minister. He capitalized on the passion and the patriotism of Canadians in order to get elected. He said he'd be the one to take on Donald Trump and his tariffs. Now here we are today, the last of the counter tariffs come off. He's removed taxes. He's increased military spending. He's giving everything to Donald Trump that Donald Trump has asked for. And so far, we're getting nothing in return. So I want to know, I read an article this morning, Will, about how Canadians can make the most of selling their American homes. We're talking about mostly retired Canadians who spent their lives dreaming of a day they could go to the winter in Florida and sunshine, and they put their money, their hard-earned money, their investments into the U.S., and they're selling it at a loss right now out of patriotism. They're doing it for their country. I mean, think of the level of sacrifice. It's already a sacrifice just to say, my kids are at a university in the U.S., or I have relatives there. I'm not going to visit them as often or at all right now to make a point on behalf of Canada. That's a big sacrifice. I'm not going to take that week away in the sunshine this year. I'm going to spend more money elsewhere. I'm going to not go on vacation at all this winter because I'm doing it for my country. Meanwhile, our Prime Minister, he's backed down entirely. We're getting nothing out of it, and we're making the sacrifices. So I think it's time our Prime Minister stepped up and told us, what's the plan here? Why should we sacrifice personally if the government is selling us out at the national level and the international level? I don't understand it. So far, as a Canadian, I'm reluctant to maybe take one of those long weekends away in the U.S., find a golf course somewhere. I'd like to do that. Something new that I've started to do in the last few years with my wife, but maybe we won't book it just yet. But I'm tempted. I am tired of standing up and fighting, and our leaders are behind us doing what exactly? I don't know. And I think a lot of Canadians are going to start to feel that way.
Yeah, I think so too, Bill. And if you look at the real estate too towards those Sunshine State areas that a lot of snowbirds will go down this time of year, there are so many homes that are available and the prices aren't nearly what they should be. And you have so much competition and Canadians now not buying there. So if you do decide to sell, you are going to take a huge loss on that property.
Yeah, there's a temptation if you've been spending your whole life dreaming of retiring one day and spending half the year in Florida. There are great deals to be had. There are great deals on trips. I mean, the mayor of Las Vegas is begging Canadians to come down this winter. So why should we say no? This hurts us. It hurts Americans that many of us know on a personal level and like, that their tourism industry is hurting. So should we all just make the most of it and move on with our lives? Or do we continue to sacrifice because Mark Carney is fighting for us? I don't see the fight so far. That's my problem. I'll sacrifice, but I need my here I am asking our leader to have our backs. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't he be the one leading? Isn't that what a leader is? Why are we leading and he's following? I don't understand it.
Yeah, a decision that each Canadian will have to make if they're heading down this year or potentially not. Appreciate your time. Have a great show, Bill.
You too.
You can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 until 10 a.m.
So this is a busy time of year for many people with kids going back to school and work and getting back into the full swing of things as summer vacation winds down. You know, it's always a great time to make sure you are taking a little time for yourself as well. So here to tell us how to get a little bit of self-care in your routine is lifestyle expert Nikki Anastasakis. And we're so glad you are here thinking about not just the students, but the parents, the grown-ups here,
Yes.
how to take care of yourself. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to have you on the show here talking about some self-care. So where do we start? Where should we start?
Okay, so I have a lot of hair products here,
Okay.
hair care items that you must get your hands on. I want
Okay.
to start with the Shark Smooth Style. This is your all-in-one.
Yeah.
It's really great for giving you that ultimate blowout. I used this morning to freshen up for this segment.
Let me tell you, your hair is working. It
Thank
looks really nice.
you.
It's that
Thank
soft
you.
kind of curl.
Yes.
Yeah?
It's
Okay.
really good because this is like a round brush. Essentially, it gives you that blowout salon style.
Yeah.
It's your all-in-one. You can easily pack it in a suitcase because it has everything you need. You don't need, anything else. You don't need
Okay.
to bring any brushes. Really great price point as well. This is the Shark
Really?
Smooth Style
Okay.
available on Shark's website.
Okay, so tell me this. If your hair, can you use this on wet hair, dry hair? How does it work?
Perfect for wet and dry.
Oh,
so that's what's
really?
great. And then
Okay.
the next day, when you've kind of had some crinkles from sleeping
Yeah.
on it, you can do it on this dry mode, and it just refreshes what you already did. You don't need to do the whole thing again.
Okay, that is
Yeah.
really great. Your hair looks amazing, by the
Thank
way. What else do you have for us? Okay, so when it comes to hairstyling, what do you have that is an all-in-one kind of tool?
Yeah, so moving on to the next level,
Okay.
this is kind of in the middle price point. This
Okay.
is called the Shark Flex Style, and this is really great for blow drying, also giving you that voluptuous blowout look. You can now also add some curls with the curl attachment. You
that's
can
so
do
neat.
This blow dry attachment, and you
What?
can
You
even
can even blow dry?
You can even buy an attachment for diffusing for people who like to just enhance their natural curls, and
Oh,
this is
yeah.
really good for smoothing out your hair. It's really great because there's there's competitors out there, and they're quite expensive, but this is a really great price point, and you can do it all again.
How does it protect the hair? Because, you know, I think about blow drying, I think about styling, and it might be a little bit stressful on the hair.
So this is really good. It has a technology where it doesn't heat damage, and you can straighten, but it won't give you the damage of like ceramic plates. So really, really good for that.
Okay, that's great to know. Lastly, what item do you have when we're talking about going from wet to dry hair with the Shark, which, by the way, I love the name.
Yeah,
love it.
Last but not least, we have the Shark Glam Hot Styling Tool. This is kind of your next level up. It's very similar to the Flex Style, but it gives you this ultra glossy finish and silky smooth finish. And it's super lightweight. This is great for, again, blow drying, giving you a blowout. You can add curls, and it even has this ceramic flat iron attachment which you can pop right onto the device.
Different attachments.
And what I love is it's very, very lightweight. And essentially, like this is great for all hair textures, whether you have thin hair, thick hair, textured hair, much like yours.
Really? I can use it on mine too.
You should definitely try it. And again, it gives you that ultimate like blowout salon finish that you need. And why not give yourself a little bit of self-care love this September? Kids are back to school. Pamper yourself.
Nikki, Anastatakis, we're so glad that you can come by and talk about taking care of yourself, because it's been all about everybody else today, and it is really wonderful that you can bring these and highlight this. And like I said again, you're coming, you're traveling here, and your hair is looking that great with this. Very nice indeed.
Very easy. Thank
Nikki.
you. Again, you can get these at sharkclean.ca.
Sharkclean.ca. Nikki, lifestyle expert, thank you so much for popping by. Really appreciate you.
Thank
you. All right, so here it is, my final stop on my tour of St. Laurent campus. I checked in with the school's elementary principal about the start of a brand new year.
Rosie, are you back in my principal's office again?
Yes, I am, and what an incredibly beautiful principal's office it is. Principal Long, it's been a minute here since I visited you last. How are you liking the new campus?
I love it. I love it so much. I mean, if I love it, that means that our students are just going to go crazy over it. There's so much more space, but not space just from in terms of like the area, but learning spaces where like our amazing curriculum, which we've always had, that's not going to change. Where we come from in our hearts is not going to change, but the spaces allow us to do so much more with our curriculum. So every single floor, so from elementary to junior high to high school, we all have our own cooking studios. So bringing kids in, being able to really talk on that health aspect with the kids, and it's a life skill too. At the same time, you know, all of us have our own common rooms for our student council, our student assemblies, because our kids run their own. So this enriches that whole piece of that curriculum. You know, we've got an incredible cafeteria too, because nutrition is super, super important. So our families now can very easily sign up for a meal plan, or you know what? It's pretty neat to go down to the cafeteria and pick up something a la carte. I'm pretty sure I'll be down there getting a poutine every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
But the space is so incredible. So it's such a balance that we run and facilitate here. And it's always how and where. So now we have more of the where. Like even look at this neighborhood outside. When we head outside for our classes, walking, you know what, heavens, we have the Governor General's down the street. When you think about social studies and that piece of the curriculum, it's just incredible. I mean, 2 gymnasiums. And, you know, from my perspective, too, it lends itself to our arts programs. We can have now all of our huge productions here, bring our families here. We have the stage here. We have an incredible music area. So our music program is so much richer now. We can now bring in all those different tools to have our own school band.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay? Expand our choir, glee club. Like the sky's the limit. Even this morning, my teachers were like, you know, for next week, is it okay that we go and do this? I'm like, yes, book the ping pong room.
You're always saying yes. You're open to the students learning on this holistic way. And you know what? You're talking about music and a lot of sound, but you also really did something quite special, right?
One of my favorite rooms, and it's not just for elementary, it's for any of our students, it's our sensory room. And we've wanted to do this for so long, and now with this new space, we can. And I'd love to show it to you.
Okay, let's have a look.
Let's do it.
Da, da, da. Here's a balance beam for focus. Ta-da! How was that?
That was excellent. That was really good.
Colleen, can you tell me about this space?
Sure. As I said before, it's one of our favorite rooms. We've been wanting a sensory room for a long time. And St. Laurent Academy is not just about academics, but it's also about the social, emotional. So we created a very, very simple space where kids can come in to calm, to self-regulate, and to learn how to just refocus, right? Change that mindset. It's not overwhelming. It's not a place where you're coming in with all your books and things. It's a place that you're going to come in, have that breath, and then be ready to head back and jump back in.
This is a very calming space. You succeeded.
Thank you.
Here's your back to school forecast. 27, that's our high for today. A little bit of humidity in there. It'll feel closer to 29 degrees. We've got about a 30% chance of afternoon showers with the risk of an afternoon thunderstorm. And we'll take a look here over the next 3 days. Here's how things will shape up. Tonight, 13, chance of overnight showers. Beautiful for Wednesday. Sunny sky and a high at 27. Another hot day. And the heat continues into Thursday. We're expecting a high of 26 degrees and the chance of an afternoon shower and into the low of 12 degrees tonight. So how are y'all feeling? Is it quiet in the house now? Are they all gone? You have the house free? Parents, you know, the kids are back to school. We hope that you have a wonderful day on this first day back to school for thousands of students.
I know. Can't believe that we're already there. I'm sure many parents very happy at this point because now's the time. School, well, the bells will be ringing in what, 2 minutes or so?
There you go.
It's officially started.
Take good care. We'll see you right back here Wednesday morning at 6 a.m.